Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be doing my second video on Python. In this video, I will be showing you how to make your own calculator. So first, you want to open up your idle shell, which you can just go into your menu, like the start menu or whatever you have on Mac, if you're using a Mac. And then you want to go to File, and then you want to press New File. Once you press new file, then you should be here. And once you're here, you should probably save it. So I am going to save this so that I can always access it later. And I'm going to just put that somewhere. Doesn't really matter where you put it, and just name it whatever you'd like. I'm going to name it calculator. Let's see. Save and calculator.py, which is now in my downloads folder. So now once you're here, you'll have this screen, and you probably are going to want to start writing your code. Well, but first, always remember when you're coding, make sure to check that you spelled everything correctly, because it's not gonna, like, only when you run it, like, if you go to run here, then you'll see check module. Always make sure to check that, because like then when you open up the run module, then it won't like just stop during it. So first, you can choose whether or not to do this, but I'm going to set it on a while loop, and a while loop means that it's going to keep on repeating this. It's never going to end. And if you want that to happen, you type while true. And then you gotta put this symbol, the two dots, there, and press enter. And it should automatically indent it. If it doesn't, which I don't think it wouldn't, always just press tab and it's indented correctly. So this is the main part, but we need one thing first. We need to define the functions. So defining a function means that it's going to use this function and run it whenever you say this function. So let's just type def to define, and then whatever you'd like the function to be named, addition is what I'm going to name it. And then you put two of those, and then you put that symbol again, and it should automatically indent it. If it doesn't, you can just indent it again. And here we're gonna do something special that is probably not used a lot, but like, just put number here. So that means when we try and use this function, we have to have a number inside of there. And then once we do that, we are going to type so we're gonna have the first number and the second number. So we can just put numbers after that. So first you want to type let's see. Well, we want a global to exiting variable. So what we can call this total, and to get the total we have to add these two numbers. So total equals, so this is like the math statements that are reversed, and it's like that. And then you want to type number 1 space plus space number 2. And once that's done, boom, you have your addition statement. And if you just shift and go back, you can highlight this, and then you want to right click on it and click copy. And when you're done, just press enter, backspace that, because otherwise it'll automatically indent it. And then you can just rename this, the addition, just rename that to multiplication. I think that's how you spell it. Let's see. And then you can just keep this, and all you want to do is put that symbol. I don't know what it's called. And once you do that, then you can just well, you don't even need to copy it because it's probably already there. So then you paste another one, and then you can do division. So once you have division, this should be a slash. So once you do that, then the final one will obviously be subtraction. So this will be a simple calculator. And next I will be doing a graphical one. This will be text-based. So now that we have all of these defined, oh wait, put a minus symbol there. Now that we have all of these defined, then you should go here and type well, we want to set the variable. So number 1 equals, and then you just type so we would use a regular input, but type float, and then you can use this around the input. So input just means you have text there asking you for something, and then it's gonna let you type next to it. So usually you want to put a space after an input, but sometimes you might want to do something else. So input, and once you have that, you want to do what is your first number, question mark, and then yeah, you put that there, and then you add a space, and that will define the first number. Number 2 will be the same thing, float. Oh, and a float is an integer that can have like decimal points. So float, and you want to put input here. What is your second number? And this might look longer, but it won't really do anything. And then finally you want to do, let's see. I don't know what these are called, I forget. What it's still, please remind me in the comments. But like it's stuff whatever these are called, like any of these. But let's just do I don't even remember. Alright, let's just do x, because like it's a common variable, everybody knows it. Alright, x equals, and then we want to set this to an int to make our life better. So int, and then we want to put another input, and then we want to ask would you like to 1, and then we can put that there to make it look nicer. So we're asking, would you like to 1 add 2 subtract 3, we can do 4 oh wait, we should probably put or 4 multiply. So boom. You might get this here. Don't care about it. It doesn't mean anything unless you want to read it. I don't even read it because I always have it there for some reason. So once you have this, you probably want to put a 2 dots and then a space, and this will decide like what you're doing. So now we want if statements. This is like if you ever use like block coding, and it's like if something is true, then, but we don't use then. So we type if x equals. This will say if it is equal to 1, then we want to put this symbol, and then we want to do number 1 is addition, so addition, and then we want to do number 1. Oh, and by the way, these numbers, they do not have to have the same name. I just put them as the same name to make it easier. But you can have, like, these can be whatever you'd like, but that would change these. And you can input, like, X and then Y there, and it will output as number 1 and number 2. So if you're ever coding, that might help you if you ever need to know that. So then if x is equal to 2. Then we want to do subtraction, and then number 1 comma number 2. And then if x equals 3, then we want to do, we have division, and then number 1 comma number 2, and then finally if x equals 4, then we want to do multiplication, and then number 1 comma number 2. So once you have that, then you can always just edit these names, but it doesn't really matter. Then you want to make sure to save it. So once you save it, then you should run it. So you click run and then run module, or you can press F5, I believe it is on Windows, but I changed my keybinds. But always make sure to check it first. And it checked and it didn't do anything, so that means it's fine. Sometimes it opens up the Python shell, like it just did, but you guys didn't see that. So now that we're ready, we can press run module. It sometimes takes a second, but once it runs, then you have it like here. So then it'll ask, what is your first number? And to test if this works, let's just do 1. What is your second number? 2. And then let's do number 1. Oh, so again, make sure to check your work. We already did something wrong, Will. So I'm going to switch back over. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. And once we have this, then make sure to edit it here. So we forgot to say what the output was. So print. So this is like input, except for it doesn't ask you for something. Then you can do quotes if you want to add anything. So I'm going to do your answer is, and then if you are going to do quotes, you need to add a comma, and then a space, and a plus, and then another space, and then your variable. So I put total. So now if we save this, you have to close out your idle shell. So make sure to close it out and we run it. And let's see. What is your first number? And you want to put in your first number, your second number, and then you put in add. Your answer is 3.0. That is good. Now let's try something difficult. 27 and 3, and let's divide that. That should be 9. Good. All right, and then to make sure every other one works, 2 and 1 and number 2. Your answer is 1. Good. And then one last one. Let's do 8 times 9, which should be 72. So let's multiply it. Boom. Looks like it works. All right, so thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like the video, and if you enjoyed, share it with your friends. Bye!